From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
In order to have the Montana Folk Festival in Butte, you need money. I'll tell you if organizers got the dough to pay the bands.
And the battle of the debt ceiling continues in D.C. Coming up, we'll take a look at how that could affect your future plans, namely your 401k.
Great.
Yeah. 6:30. Jet Lehman, Matt Elwell, Peter Parker, the Spider still here. Jane McDonald is on assignment. We'll see her efforts coming up tonight, 5:30 and 10 o'clock, and of course tomorrow as well. It's the rainy season.
It is.
Always brings the bugs out on our camera.
And I actually enjoy this time of year. Last night, falling asleep, some rain showers, a rumble of thunder or two, but nothing real heavy.
Everything is green, and my lilac bush is just blossom.
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It looks like the day today is going to be comfortable but cooler than yesterday. We've had some light showers showing up on radar, likely to be dealing with some patchy fog this morning as we're looking out in some of these low-lying areas. Off and on showers, I think the best chance coming into the late afternoon, early evening, pretty typical pattern for us. But some of those downpours are likely to be on the heavy side for the evening. Could have some gusty wind. I talked about some fog or some low-lying foggy potential. That's cool. That's it. It's beautiful. Temperatures back into the 60s, a few degrees cooler today than yesterday. Peter Parker enjoying that sunrise this morning. That's the spider in the corner. That's what we've named him. We'll talk more about your forecast, of course, coming up in just a little bit.
Because we had nothing else to do, apparently. 6:31, our top story this half hour. We're going to stay in Butte. I know a lot of you have been waiting. I sure have. What's the music lineup set for Montana Folk Festival? MTN's John Amy gives us an update.
The final lineup for the Montana Folk Festival here in Butte has been set. And more importantly, a major financial goal has been met so they can actually pay these performers for a summer festival that's become vital to Butte's economy.
It's important not just for businesses, but I think just Butte in general, the morale of Butte, the camaraderie that Butte has for all of these events, and how proud we are of our city. I think that the Folk Festival is a really great way for us to show that.
Local businesses helped match a $200,000 grant provided by the Dennis and Phyllis Washington Foundation, which will help cover some of the expenses of putting on the free 3-day music festival in Uptown Butte.
It's a real help and a comfort, and I get to sleep a little better because we know that we're going to be, hopefully, we'll be at a point when it's all over with that we'll be able to pay the bills.
The festival has booked 21 performers from a variety of musical genres.
A female blues guitarist, Melody Angel, coming from Chicago. Korean performance is coming to bring some drumming as well as some interesting dance.
The Folk Festival returned last summer after being canceled for 2 years due to the pandemic. Organizers believe this summer's event is getting the city back into the rhythm of the summer tourist season.
So it's back to the summer where everybody are competing for attention in the summer season. You know, there's so much going on, and we're just hoping people will look at Butte and say, let's go there.
This summer's Folk Fest will run from July 14th through the 16th. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
All right, thank you, John. 6:34 now. Tensions are high in Washington with only a short time left for Congress to avoid defaulting on over $31 trillion in debt. If lawmakers don't reach an agreement, it'll mark the first time in history the government can't pay its bills. As Scripps News' Stephen Graddick explains, current gridlock could hurt your 401k.
For weeks, the stock market has yo-yoed due to the debt ceiling stalemate. A default could send stocks into a free fall, with a direct hit to retirement savings plans.
If we are in default for a very long time, like some studies are estimating, then yeah, a 45% drop in the stock market is entirely plausible.
A Gallup poll found last year that almost 2/3 of Americans own stocks, either individually, through mutual funds or 401k accounts. The success of those 401ks are directly tied to the success of the stock market. Zach Moeller, the director of economic program at the center-left think tank Third Way, estimates a default could cause the S&P 500 to drop about 22%. That could wipe out years of earned wealth for millions of households, particularly those nearing retirement.
a typical 401k for someone near retirement, which is about $250,000. That would be about a $20,000 drop in your assets.
Moeller says the financial pain depends on how long the U.S. is in a default. He adds the current stalemate is economically damaging in its own right.
The more damaging that this is for confidence in the United States more broadly and for our financial institutions.
The last time the U.S. faced default was in 2011, with the Treasury reporting their retirement accounts lost $800 billion. But as Moeller points out, many investors recouped their losses as stocks rebounded shortly after. Stephen Graddick, Scripps News, Atlanta.
All right, 6:35 now this morning, we have a peek into the exciting world of Grizzly Bear 399. She's the oldest documented grizzly bear in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, drawing crowds of hundreds of people every year, all waiting to document her incredible life journey. She once again emerged from her den last week with bets from photographers and wildlife guides on if she would have cubs, and if so, how many. TN's Andrea Lutz spoke with Wyoming guide who was there when it happened.
The wait is over. Wyoming's famous grizzly bear heroine has arrived.
She's a conundrum because she draws an unbelievable crowd.
Wyoming wildlife guide Bo Weldon with Eco Tour Adventures was there as the grizzly matriarch 399 emerged from her den this year with just one cub.
Well, I've been, very fortunate enough to either be on tour working, or, as you might imagine, somebody who loves wildlife as me is just up there on my day off.
He says the yearly occurrence always draws quite the spectacle, so much so that days prior this year, park rangers in Grand Teton started to place cones in the area to brace for crowds.
When she appeared officially, especially at Bear Jams for her, there's so much speculation. Like when she came out with all 4 cubs, it is like oral histories being exchanged.
And perhaps that's why her fame has taken off the way it has. 399 is 27 years old, and her bloodline is strong in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Year after year, she's seen parading her young near busy roads, all to a tourist's delight.
I think she offers an opportunity for people to see a wild grizzly bear in the wild. And I think that those moments can be really powerful for people.
Her fame now comes with iconic social media accounts, followers from all over the world, even a handful of children's books. She really turned heads in 2020, emerging with 4 cubs.
I've seen photographer friends that I haven't seen out here for a couple years because they've come back for her. I love seeing her, and I think she offers an incredible value to Wyoming and Grand Teton National Park.
A bear charming visitors and nurturing her next generation. In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
All right, 6:38, closer to home now. A Belgrade resident changing the tune of senior activities. TN's Kristen Merkel is at the Belgrade Senior Center to sit on their weekly ukulele group and join in on the musical fun.
I'm here with a member from the Belgrade Senior Center ukulele group, and he's going to teach me how to play a note on the ukulele.
Well, it's real simple, actually. Here you go.
Okay.
Put it on your lap.
Okay.
Like that. Put your hand around there. Put one finger down right there. Make sure your thumb is behind your finger like that. You've got good position on your hands.
Okay. Look at me.
That's a C.
I used to play ukulele when I was probably in middle school, so if I was old enough, I'd probably join this group too.
Just gotta smile.
Kyle Hertzens has been playing ukulele on and off for 30 years. Now he enjoys teaching and jamming out with seniors at the Belgrade Senior Center.
I think the thing that I bring to it is just the encouragement. No, you can do it. Really, here's an F chord, here's a C chord, here's a G chord.
Senior Center Manager Lisa Beatty says the ukulele group has been a great addition to the many other activities they offer.
It lit a fire in people that maybe I hadn't seen before, that it kind of gave them a passion that they hadn't really experienced before.
And even I had to join in on the fun. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? Hertzens hopes to teach the ukulele in more places around Gallatin Valley and continue to share its magic.
There was one lady who one time said, you know, this is my sacred time when I get to play music with other people.
For Hertzens, it's not about teaching, but having fun.
I don't consider myself a leader. I consider myself an instigator, ukulele instigator. I like, I love what it allows people to do.
Tile and other members of the Belgrade Senior Center gather every Tuesday to learn and play music together, and there's always room for more. In Belgrade, Kristen Merkel, MTN News.
Of course, Kristen Merkel will have her CDs available in the lobby right after the concert. Yeah, that's it. We are the first official members of her ukulele fan club right here. 6:40. We're going to take a break. When we come back.